So here we are for the Barnet Boxing Barber. I'm with Joe Calzaghe.
Hey.
Joe, it's lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, mate.
It's fantastic. I just saw your boy there, and I thought, wow, God, you all look the same. You all look good.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I like to think I stamped it well, mate. So yeah, I got 3 boys. Connor couldn't make it tonight. Obviously, Joe Jr., my eldest, my other son's little Enzo's won today. So
Little Enzo won today. Now, a lot of people won't know that, but to call him Enzo, and obviously I know how you miss your dad. I've seen you, with social media and being interviewed over the years, and Enzo was an amazing part of your life, as he was to boxing. And there you are, you've got a little boy called Enzo.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, it's a tough few years. My dad, I'm going to say the best dad and my hero. So having another son, what other name could I give him? I just hope he lives up to half a man my dad was. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure if he's a little bit of the character that Enzo was, then you're in for a ride.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Well, I'm a mental health ambassador down there in Cornwall, and I'm going around the country interviewing people, getting men talking, and getting men, lifting men instead of knocking men and knocking them down. Let's lift each other and get going. And obviously, you've had your trials and tribulations in the ring and out the ring, and to talk to you tonight is fantastic, mate. It's brilliant.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks. Well, like I said, regarding, it's great to be here, and I think that's a great way, to helping people with mental health. I think, as men as well, we don't really speak about it, and I've been through troubles over the years since retirement, and I know a lot of people who are great men of all sorts that's happened to, and all I would say is to speak to somebody, never keep it to yourself. You always feel about when you speak about it. It's always people with friends and people you can speak to that help you. You know what I mean? So, yeah, don't keep it to yourself, man.
The Joe Calzaghe I'm talking to right now seems very chilled out and relaxed. Over the last couple of years, you've found yourself, and the boys must anchor you down, and little Enzo must keep you busy.
Oh, 100%. Completely different life to the one, obviously kicking ass and fighting. I've got, like I said, two older boys, Joe and Connor. I've got a little granddaughter as well. BB, so yeah, it's good, man. My little man chasing him around. I feel blessed. Thank God. For him, and I'm 51 now. Yeah. So you have to chill out sometime in your life. You know what I mean? I need to get my ass back in the gym, if I'm honest. New year, new resolution as always. Back in the gym training. No comeback, but still. Yeah. Keep fit and keep healthy.
Well, I've got a great association with the Welsh because my granddad was Welsh. And I'm 55 on Boxing Day, would you believe it? And I'm still fighting, I'm still punching. 2 weeks,
Really?
2 weeks ago, I knocked a guy out in Swindon.
Come on, son, hey.
And I'm having it. I'm really having it.
Well, listen, good on you, man. You still got your ear as well, right? So I'm 51, mate, and then all my friends, they're bored. I said, fuck off, sorry, you're swearing. You're bored, but at the end of the day, mate, well done, man. It's good. 55. I thought I was getting too old to fight.
I was overweight. I've just had 2 hip replacements,
Wow.
2 rotator cuff surgeries. I was 14 stone, and I'm about 10 stone now, and I'm fighting. I'm going around the country. I'm fighting people.
All I can say, congratulations, mate. You make me thinking maybe it's not too late for me, man.
Well, I saw you say to James English that never say never, and you might have an exhibition fight. You were saying it tongue in cheek, but to see the Italian Dragon, even in an exhibition fight, for this young crop of fighters, people that are coming to the sport to watch it, to see you have a move around with somebody would just be amazing.
Who knows? Let's get my ass back in shape. Let's get training, and we'll see you next year, mate.
It's going to be a busy night. I want to quickly go to your career, and the Jeff Lacey fight, everybody talks about it, but for me, the defining fight for you to make you a household name was the Eubanks fight. 25-year-old, you turned over Eubanks. He was an amazing fighter. Did you feel like you'd made it at that point?
Yeah, well, to be honest, beating Eubanks. Hey, we got me, man.
Step over here.
Yeah, beating Eubanks was great. Obviously, things that took a while. WO champion 6 years, 7 years. Lacey fight was a big one. That showed me in America. That showed me around the world what I could do. Then obviously finishing off my super middleweight career, beating Kessler, unifying all the belts in my national stadium in Millennium, 50,000 plus, 10 years of world champion. So the 2 things missing. I said to my dad, I'm ready to retire. 2 things missing was going to America and stepping up to light heavyweight. and that's what I did against Hopkins.
Yeah.
I finished off at Madison Square Garden against one of the greatest, Roy Jones. So it's great that all the hard work and the knocks I had since I was a kid with the injuries being written off, but then to finish off at the age of 34, 35, 36 and fight them Kessler, Hopkins and Roy Jones Jr. from a guy from a dad that never boxed, Enzo, a musician father, bought a council estate with Mum Jackie, fighting little old Spot Legend Centre, Newport Legend Centre, finish on Madison Square Garden, man. Come on, baby.
You first kissed the canvas against Byron Mitchell, and that fight, Byron Mitchell, that's when I became a massive fan of Joe Calzaghe, because you had to dig deep, get yourself off the canvas and go about your business. And you went to war. I've never seen you go to war like you did against him. What do you remember about that fight?
I just remember thinking, oh shit, I remember getting dropped the first time in my life, 2003 June, never went down in my entire life in the boxing career. And the one thing, I'm very proud of that win, because I got up, I dropped him, and then after that I stopped in the same round. But you know what, in boxing there's things you can't teach. You can't teach heart and chin, and they showed a great chin. I got back up, and then for the first time in my career I ever went down. I'm at the pro, never went on the floor, sparring, never went down. And then I had the instinct after that 8 count, is how you react, and that shows who you are. It shows in your heart, man. It shows what you're all about. It's only when you get hurt. And people used to say to me, you never got down, why are you going to react? Until you actually go down, you don't know. And it was the first time I got dropped. The way I reacted is just go to war. And thank God I managed to come through that fight and win and stop him in the same round.
You was to boxing what John Travolta was to disco, because you could move. Nobody moves like Joe Calzaghe now. There's nobody coming through. The punches you threw, the stats, the youngsters today can look at the stats. You used to throw some punches.
I did. I used to throw some punches. A lot of that with my father. So you know, when we trained, you know, he threw like he's a musician, so we used to do so many fast combinations. It was like rhythm, the beat, the way we used to fight, the way we used to spar, the way we did pads. And I remember when I turned professional, Mickey Duff, Terry Lawler, so my first manager, said, just let you know, Enz, Joe can't throw punches like that for 12 rounds. He needs to just calm himself. But I did, man. I just, you know, I had a great fitness from a young age. The Welsh Hills, man, the way I trained hard, and thank God I was able to fight because of my fitness at a high work rate, and I obviously had the speed as well.
You've got a big hill down there at Newbridge, and I've heard about these big hills. Those hill sprints, you must have been doing those hill sprints a lot. Yeah,
I always did the hill sprints, you know. From the age of like 12, 13, I was ABA champion, national champion, so I trained like a pro at a young age. My dad kicked my butt, all the time. Obviously, we used to clash like every teenager. You want to do your own thing, but you know what? I'm so thankful because you know he instilled that champion's mentality in me. And he used to always say, man, always train like a challenger. And that's why I was a world champion undefeated for so long, is because I did train like a challenger. Because I know that guy in the opposite corner, you can never underestimate. He's always there to take what you have.
But it must have been really hard because you took Dad away from the family, and you guys were very single-minded in your vision of what you were going to do in a career.
Yeah, well, I remember my dad's, you know, a young age, he said, you're going to be world champion. And at times I didn't really believe it. I was a young kid, you know, I had some knocks as a youngster in the ABAs, and he always believed I was going to be world champion. And I actually believed it because my dad believed it. And that's the thing, and you know, that mindset. I've always say, I remember telling the careers teacher one day, she said, Joe, so when you leave school, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to be a world champion boxer. She looked at me and laughed. I went, no, seriously, what's your job? I went, I'm going to be a world champion boxer. And that was literally my mindset. I owe that to my father for giving me that belief that you can achieve anything you want to achieve, and we did. And you know, that is my message. We can achieve anything you want to achieve in life. If you work hard enough, you dedicate, and you have faith and believe it, you can do anything you want to do. And me and Dad conquered the world.
And to both of you, thank you very much for a fantastic career, because I've always been a fan of boxing, but I've been a fan of your career, and it was a well-timed career, and everything was absolutely, from where I was sitting, everything was absolutely bang on. What was it like working with promoters like Warren and getting those big fights right at the end of your career? Because that's when you earn the big money. Those last 2 or 3 fights, it's home time. We're there. What was it like for you?
Yeah, it was great. You know, at the end of the day, like I said, I was world champion, WO champion 10 years. I didn't get the Lacey unification fight until 2006, so I was 9 years WO champion, and I got my big fight at the end. And at the end of the day, you just got to be patient, and all that matters is to keep winning.
Yeah.
Keep winning, and it will come.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you win bad, sometimes you're injured, but I always managed to fight at my best when it counted.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I wouldn't be at my best. You just need that bit of fear factor. You know that, listen, I need to be up for this fight. I need to be on my best game. And some fighters can't do that. Some fighters fold. You know, at the pressure, I fed off the pressure, you know, and, you know, even from a young kid, the one person I wanted to, you know, impress more than anything was my dad. Yeah. And that's why he was it was magical, you know, in the corner, if I had a bad round, you know, he would say, he knew my style, he knew what made me tick.
You say you wanted to impress and you wanted to show dad. I've always had an up and down relationship with my father, and I got stopped by a guy in September. He stopped me, and my dad says, he'll beat you every night of the week, you'll never beat him, lad. Well, I'm going to go and fight this guy again in February because I want to prove the old man wrong. And, you know, that's how it is. You want to impress your dad and be big for your dad.
Yeah, definitely, and good luck with that, man. He's definitely showing balls, man, because at the end of the day, a lot of people wouldn't want to go back in the ring with somebody he lost to, you know what I mean? So good luck on that one, and yeah, that's it, man. You lost my train of thought there, mate, but...
Robin Reid, everybody says that was a close fight. Looking back at it, you must have looked at it with the boys and everything. Was it a close fight? Because I thought you threw a lot of punches, he stood very square, and you was the better of him that day and end of conversation. But around the pubs and around the gyms, people say, oh, well, Robin Reid nearly beat him. Well, you know.
Yeah, well, listen, Robin Reid, yeah, listen, you know, he's a good fighter, Robin Reid. I boxed him, I think, in '99. So there was about 2 years I couldn't spar with a really bad elbow injury, but I had to keep making money, I had to fight. So it was Robin Reid and a couple of other fighters, so I wasn't at my best, but yeah, I still got the win. You know, I watched the fight and 2 judges gave it me by 5 rounds. You know, he had some good rounds. All fair play to Robin Reid, but you know, that was a different Joe Calzaghe in '99 than it was injury-free Joe Calzaghe. But yeah, you know, Robin Reid was a good fighter, so I'm not going to say anything bad about him. Former world champion, and the win's a win.
Back to Dad. What would Enzo think of all this razzmatazz with the YouTube guys, with the TikTok guys? Everybody's shouting. The Fury's kicking off out in Saudi Arabia. What would Enzo think of all this now?
He'd probably say, "Get your ass out there and make some of that money."
Thanks ever so much for taking the time to talk to me,
Thank
Joe.
you, mate.
And they say don't meet your idols, but I'm glad I did tonight. You're everything and more.
Thank you very much.
Take care and keep punching. Keep punching.
Thank you, buddy.